Hey everyone, welcome to the Curious Girl Diaries podcast. I'm Layla London, aka The Curious Girl. Now, just to let you know, this podcast is not suitable for work. It's also not suitable for anybody under 18. But the rest of you consenting adults, let's get ready to talk about my sex life, sex in general, and everything in between in explicit, raunchy, fun detail. All right, here we go. Okay, so today I want to go through, and I'm being a little bit lazy. I do get questions sent to me on my email. And if you have any questions or comments, that's curiousgirl@thecuriousgirldiaries.com. And I do get some interesting ones, but I thought today I'm going to be lazy. Instead of emailing back, I'm just going to go through and answer them verbally. So, and I get questions from guys and girls. I love the female questions, and also just the comments that they'll send me about, liking my blog and just a lot of the stuff they can relate to. And anyway, it's kind of fun. I actually kind of like the female. I like the female edification more than I like it from the males. Sorry guys, but yeah, I'm hanging tough here for my sisters, but anyway, okay, so let's see. Here's a question. What does your pussy taste like? Well, to me, it tastes like nothing. I've tasted it several times, and it tastes inert. I mean, like bland, like nothingness. I don't know how else to put it. However, I was just recently told that it has a hint of sweet. And I've heard that before, that it tastes sweet or that it tastes like flowers. I might have mentioned that before. I thought, well, maybe someone was smelling flowers and they were confused. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not a guy, But to me, it tastes like nothing, which is really, really strange, I think. But there you have it. Okay, the next question. What is your favorite position? Well, I don't know that I have a favorite position. It's interesting. I think it's changed over the years. Before, when I was younger, it was on top. It was on top so the guy could, so I could have the right pressure on his cock while he was touching my clit, or I was touching my clit. Now, I don't know. And now I honestly I love it. I like it on top. I love it on my back. I love it from the side. I like it. I went through a phase where the side position was my favorite. And then I also went through a phase where doggy was my favorite. And if I now I think I really like just some of the positions when it sounds a little lame, but when I'm on my back, depending on what the guy's doing, if he's got my legs up in the air, pushing them back, when they're pushed back, it sort of, it tips my pelvis a certain way, and the angle, of the guy's cock feels really good. And then I can come easier that way. But, or even just with my legs up, I like, honestly, I can come in various different positions, and I kind of like them all. It really just depends on my mood and who I'm with, on what's going to work the best. So I don't have one. I can't say that I have one favorite position anymore. I really do love them all at this point. Oh, here's I love these. I get these nasty little, emails. Do you want to suck my cock? Well, I don't know. What do you look like? How tall are you? What kind of shape are you in? How big is your cock? And then maybe yes, I want to suck it, or maybe no, I don't want to suck it. How's that? This is from a female. Do you get burnt out? Do I get burnt out? I guess meaning with all of the with how prolific I am. Yeah, of course I do. It takes a lot of work to, you know, for every I don't know what the ratio is, for every it's a system though. I mean, remember I said I run this like a business. I mean, for every you really do have to be if you want this to happen, because I've kind of made it my goal for the year, to be knocking things off my bucket list and kind of making this my year of sex coming out of my years of non-sex. Um, you have to talk to a lot of guys. You have to, make contact with a lot of guys. You have to, move it forward to meeting them or talking on the phone and and then you have to do and so yeah, yeah, that takes a lot of work and for every and you don't like everybody. I mean, that's the thing. It's not like you know it's not just like, okay, yeah, you'll do, oh sure, you'll do. No, 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 no. I mean, I have to like somebody and be attracted to them, interested in them, on some level. And if I can't make that little connection, I don't want to get with them in the bedroom. That doesn't, I mean, I am still a girl. I still need the that stimulation of being able to say, like, I like this person. I like this guy, not just he's attractive, because there's plenty of attractive guys that I just don't even want to open their mouths. I'm like, please don't say anything. You're going to ruin it. So, yes, but I kind of went off on a tangent there, but to answer the question, yes, I do get burnt out. And sometimes I take sort of like, I have kind of what I call like a down cycle where I just don't want to see that many people or meet anybody new. And I had that towards the end of the year. I've actually kind of noticed it hits about every 90 days, which is weird. Um, but so far, like I'm sort of in a down cycle now where I am still having fun, but I am dialing it back right now. I just don't have the drive to be super prolific with it. And then, but I suspect that, I'll bounce right out of that. So yes, I do, I do get burnt out. It takes a lot of work. It's a lot of fucking work to make all this happen. My friends are just like, I don't know how you do it. I mean, they sit there and they watch me like with my phone blowing up, and they're like, "What the fuck is, you know?" And see, there's my phone. It's always going off when I'm doing a podcast. I should shut it off, but I'm just telling you, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Um. Anyway, so yeah, it does. It does. It's like almost like a full-time job. And because I'm so type A and goal oriented, I'm freaking making it happen. I don't care, and I do get burnt out and I give myself a little time off and then I just hit it hard. So there you go. Oh, how here's the next question. This is from a guy, of course. How tight is your pussy? You know what? I think it's tight, but I don't know. And I don't suspect that any guy, Jesus, I gotta turn that thing off. I don't suspect that any guy is gonna, I think it's tight. I've been told it's tight, but you know, and maybe it's one of those things where a guy just doesn't want to tell you the truth. Like, you know what? It's really not that tight. I know you think it is, but I'm here to tell you. It's not. Um, Maybe it's the same thing as like with a guy. You wouldn't say you have a little cock. You're always going to tell him, "Oh, you have a big, thick cock." I mean, I don't know. I To me it feels tight. That's what I can tell you. I put my fingers in there and it feels really tight. Um, Snug. How about that? I'll say it's nice and snug. But, again, I don't know that I'll ever get the truth, but I do consistently get that it's tight, and I that's unsolicited. So, again, maybe it's just, it's the same way girls always say, "Oh, your cock's so big," or whatever. You're not gonna say, "Oh, your cock's so little," but it feels good. It feels good too. Oh, anyway, I don't know if that answered the question. I think it's tight. 2 fingers is tight, and I can really clamp down pretty good on 2 fingers. So, there you go, Mister How Tight Is Your Pussy guy. How's the squirting going? Um, well, I can't do it to myself, so it's not going right now. The guy that did that to me is not in town right now, and if he doesn't come back to town, then I have to find somebody else who's gifted in that area. Um, I, I don't think I can do it to myself. Um, quite honestly, I haven't tried, but I don't think I know that I can. I think I mean, I want to do it more. I want someone doing it to me. I want to practice more. I'd love to have more, quote unquote, mastery over it. But right now, it's not happening. It's not going because nobody else knows how to do it. So, I mean, I have some guys that are wanting to give it the old college try, um, and I'm happy to, I'm like, sure. Now that they know I can do it, I'm like, hey, can we try this? They're like, yeah, I'll try that. Although I just don't want anybody in there just kind of jacking around. I mean, like, if either you know what you're doing or you don't, because I don't know. It's sort of a mystery to me. But anyway, so as it stands right now, there's no squirting going on. Oh, why don't you like guys your height or that are shorter? We're all the same size in bed. um, my mom says that. My mom says that. They're all the same size, laying down. Wouldn't make him a better person if they were taller. Um, you know, it's just my thing. I mean, some guys like just blondes, petite blondes, and some, I mean, it's just it's not to slight anybody. And it's not that I ever don't stray from that. But as I'd say 90% of the time, the guys I'm with are taller, well built, um, very good looking guys. And I just like, as far as, aesthetically, I'm typically drawn to a certain kind of guy, the look. And then it's the height, it's the height. I always know, I mean, I scan the room. I will, like, if there's any tall guys anywhere ever to be found, like, I'm on it, like, boom, I lock in on it. Um, and then I I don't like a tall, like, skinny guy, like a tall, wafy guy. No, I mean, for me being tall, and I don't, I'm not a bigger girl. But it's this weird thing that, I like a bigger guy, a taller guy, a stronger guy, because it makes me feel smaller, and then I feel feminine. If I have a guy that's my height, I kind of tend to feel like gangly next to him, long legs, long arms, going everywhere. it just doesn't match up. I want somebody bigger on me. That turns me on, makes me feel just more feminine. So I don't know. It's just my thing, like the hands. I mean, it's a weird thing. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, what really, like, what are your turn ons? I said, well, I really like a man's hands. And I think he was wanting, I really don't know what he was wanting me to say. And he was and then his reaction was like, oh, that wasn't what I was expecting. I don't know what if I was going to say. I love it when a guy fucks me from behind. I mean, I absolutely don't know what he was fishing for, but um, the hands, I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just like I've said before, when if I see a guy, like when he sends a selfie and I see how like his hands are holding, the way his fingers are, just the shape, the way he's holding the phone, the contrast between the hand size and the phone. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, maybe that's a kink. I have no idea. But something about like hands, man's hands on me, just touching me, thinking about that, I'm like, oh God. It makes me wet. Anyway, sorry, I got off on a little tangent there. I'm trying to stay on task here. Let me see, what was the next question? About, I love your fantasies. Do you have any more in there you haven't told yet? Well, as a matter of fact, I think this is, so that's an interesting question, a timely question. Um, I recently, so I think the being tied up and sort of, and then the slapping that I did, although it's not being acknowledged as a slap. Um, Also, I did slap Titanic when we were in bed, um, and that was fun. I was on top of him, and I actually did. I had the leverage. See, I'm not getting credit for the slap because when somebody is like right next to you and you have to come up and under, and you can't like wind back or put a little oomph into it. I mean, come on. Let's be fair here. You only have so much velocity behind it depending on your angle. So just want to say that for the record. But I thought it was a good one. Okay. I totally just got off. Again, I ramble. The fantasies. Okay. So anyway, I do have, and when I was younger, I did have there was this one guy I was with, and I like to slap him too. So that's always been in there. But, and I do like getting it's not 100% my thing, but it's fun to do, like where you're getting physical with something. That's probably why I like bigger guys. It's like they can kind of manhandle me a little bit. And that turns me on. And since recently, kind of getting a little more physical, getting tied up, having that kind of like the frustration and that kind of makes me, pissed off and gets me a little physically charged. I am kind of finding myself wanting to be more physical. And just recently, I was approached, or, it was presented with the idea of a rape fantasy. And this is someone that I do trust and would do this with. And we're kind of talking about it right now. Like, okay, how would this go down? And, he's a big guy, very strong guy. And it's actually a guy I really like. So I'm sort of tentative on it because, I'm like, first I was like, yes. And now I'm thinking about it. So, we'll see if that happens. If if I go for it. I think that's, there's certain things you can do with certain people. And because of course there has to be a lot of trust. And I would assume if you're doing something like that, you just don't know what is going to spark in you and what's going to come up. I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at it from like, this is going to be hot, erotic, and exciting. But, if I'm really struggling to get him off of me, that could be a little scary. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, like, what that would, I've never been physically overpowered by someone. And I imagine that, your heart's pumping, it's going to be intense. So that's out there, it's just kind of out there. I don't know, I don't know whether or not it's going to happen. I tend to think that with this person, it probably, I don't know. I'm totally on the fence. Part of me is like, yes, he would be fun to do that with. And then another part of me is like, I think that it might change our dynamic in a weird way. It could mess things up. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yes, that's out there. And not something I ever really thought about before. But again, as I'm on this road trip and I'm doing different things, it does turn me on to different things. It does open the door to other things. And, it's kind of, now I'm kind of like, hey, somebody hit me with it. And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of hot. I would do that with you. So I'm finding out, all the little things that I'd like to do that I never knew I'd like to do. I think that's, another girl. Here's the last thing. A girl, I love this. I love the ladies. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you guys. This girl sent me an email and she says that she went and got a Groupon and got her vagina tightened and she loves it. And she thanks me for it. Right on, sister. Girl, you go. Yeah, that's good. You just take that tight vagina out and give it a workout. Give it a test drive. I'm glad you like it. All right. Well, that's I think that's going to be the end of my there's some more questions here, but I'm kind of going long. So maybe I'll do another round another time. But anyway, as always, thanks for listening. I appreciate your questions and comments. Please keep sending them in, and you can reach me at curiousgirl@thecuriousgirldiaries.com.